internships are a really big part of the process of finding a job. And internships at university, whether it's outside of the university or within the university, within more of a research or administrative role. And I can speak to two different types of internships that I had. At university, I took part in a research internship through the physics department, and that was very valuable for me because it gave me a chance to really dive into the research side of stuff, which I really enjoyed. Of course, it's not for everyone. However, it exposed me to a certain aspect of my field and the wider science and STEM industries that I think was very valuable, getting to learn software development, learning to really learn how to dig into problems and really get stuck into things, which is really important in STEM. And that in itself then helped me to get an internship in industry, which I was able to find in the summer between my 4th and 5th year back in the United States near where I live. And that was at a smaller company and in the aerospace industry itself. So really narrowing myself down towards what I wanted to do later in life. And then going into an industry position or industry internship, I was able to refine my skills a bit more, get real world experience, and understand how offices work and how teams work in the industry, and really build specific skills that I could then put on my resume and demonstrate to employers after I graduated how I could add value to their company through these specific skills. And I would say that I was lucky to have found this opportunity. It was really through looking deeply at, in the industry around where I lived, because I know I wanted to be at home when I did this internship. But I kind of took initiative and called a company that were local, but I put myself out there, and I would encourage everyone to do the same, where even if you don't think that it's maybe a tenable relationship that you can build with somebody at that level, I think it's still important to try, right? And you can send out emails, cold emails sometimes that don't go anywhere, and that happens a lot. However, sometimes you might get lucky, and that's what happened for me. And I think that it's definitely a worthwhile way to go in terms of trying to find an internship, especially if you're not having luck with maybe a larger corporation, in really any field. And going back to the importance of internships, using the research internship that I had at university combined with the technical industry internship that I had, putting those two together on my resume and then being able to talk about them in interviews for jobs after university was I think really important. And it really showed that I was able to put in some initiative before graduating, and that's something that carries forward into a job. And when future employers look at your resume, they will pick up on the little things like that, maybe specifics within those internships that you've had, and really that serves as a launching point to having better conversations, interviews, and catching the eye of people. And definitely those internships that I had, both in the research and in the industry, they just gave me experience and confidence, and something that I don't think I would have had if I didn't do them. So I would say they're valuable, and I think a smart way of going forward and trying to build yourself and get a job in the future. The best way of maximizing your chance of getting into an internship is by really tailoring your resume when you're applying to them, your resume and your cover letter, if they require a cover letter, to the company and to the opening, right? So one, you're tailoring yourself to the company. If you have a background in STEM like I do, really want to highlight those STEM skills, and you really want to highlight, say you're going in for a software job, you want to highlight the fact that you know how to program, you understand various types of programming, maybe algorithms, have a strong math background. And then if the job rec is asking for something specific like knowledge in Python, and you know Python, you should highlight that, so then you can really match yourself up, kind of almost a one-to-one in the job ask to what you have in your skill set. And I think that goes a long way because you can, one, kind of get past some of the filters that larger companies have, perhaps on their resumes, resume searches, and then also you can then have things to talk about with an interviewer should you get to that stage. I think that that's kind of your first line of attack when going for an internship or a job, and it'll go a long way if you can just put in that little bit of extra work to tailor your resume, tailor your cover letter to really match up. And then I think on the company side, you obviously want to show that you're interested in what they do. That can come in different ways, and I think that can come in showing that you have a background and an interest in them that align. For example, if you're studying biology and you're going to apply for a company that's specializes in biological sciences, that's obviously a good match. But then you want to talk about how your background and that company can match up towards the future. And you want to then gear your application, you want to gear your resume, your cover letter, showing how you can add value to that company, and then they can add value back into your own life, your own, your work life, and aid you towards your goals in the future. So kind of weaving a story, I would say, in a sense, and that way you can kind of build a connection with the company, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the skill set